Good evening, ladies, gentlefers, and my lovely NBs. We are here live at Winnipeg in Riverside Arena, where the Edmonton Excavators will go up against the Winnipeg Voyagers. My name is Marcus Baylor, and to my right is Ryan Eastman. How are you doing, dude?
Doing excellent, doing excellent. Ready for a wonderful game here in Winnipeg. It's been a little while since we've been back here. I think the finals was the last time we got to host a game here.
Yeah, for sure. It's been a good minute for being able to remember how well the Voyagers did, being able to get a championship here in Winnipeg. But now we are really synced in deep into the regular season as both teams are surfing around 500 at this point.
Yeah, Winnipeg started off a little rough. They've been able to work their way back up towards that 500 mark. They have a lot of a pride trying to get back to the playoffs this year. Eves announcing that plans to retire at the end of the season. They don't want him to go out with a whimper here in his final season.
Yeah, for sure. And that's something that they're going to be aiming towards to at least make it to the playoffs, which I believe they are still in the run of currently as of right now. And it's going to be interesting how well these two teams play, as the Excavators are still in the kind of in the same boat, being in the middle of the pack as well, and really wanting to rely on a lot of their stars to try and get over the hump to finally get some kind of be a serious contender within the division.
Yeah, but it's been the division that's been their weakness. They have a good record in their conference, but amongst the division, both teams have struggled against Montana and Dakota. That's really been the differential factor and what separates them from being at the top of the division and the bottom of the division, even if it's only a couple games separating that margin.
Yeah, for sure. It's just kind of been shows how difficult the division as a whole is when talking about the Plains division and how well all of these teams play. But now it's time to see how these two Canadian teams go up against each other as we see the players go ahead and line up right now.
Yes, jumping down to the stadium. So
Here we
you
go.
see the players heading to the court. Winnipeg will take first possession, winning the tip-off. Balte with the ball. And a bit of a change of the starting lineup they've made in this final season here. It's Hattori hitting it from deep two-range territory, able to get that basket to fall.
Yeah, and that's something that we got to look into as well when it comes to Winnipeg really trying to rely on a lot of youth within this contest, which is probably why they haven't really been doing very well. If you do see a quick score from Xavier Clark with the quick blanc.
Yeah, Clark able to get a high shot off in the post, getting it to fall. Well, Dave on the perimeter. Calling for the screen, but it doesn't get a lot of separation. Does go for a risky three, leading, not even setting up fully for that shot there.
Yeah, not a good shot there. So now Edmonton have the opportunity to take the lead here. We'll see what they do with this possession.
Volkov dishing it down to Clark. Back to the perimeter, Cooper, and it's going to be Lopez. The rookie from beyond the arc is good, taking a three-point lead here.
Yeah, Fiorello really thriving in the starting position is our time for a rookie position. It's a really big step here as she's able to try and go within stride.
Yeah, I mean, big plays from the rookie getting the start lineup, and Malka wide open, hangs on the rim.
Yeah, and you can't be surprised with how well Kevin Malka has able to dunk. He has been a thriving piece for the Voyagers for years to come, being a longtime Voyager here.
Yeah, the Pangolin able to show the rim who's boss, just reminding the rim not to be mean to him later in the game.
Yeah.
Give him the shooter roll every time or else. And a quick answer back from Edmonton, even though the crowd absolutely was going wild after that dunk. So it needed to quiet them down just a little bit.
Yeah, for sure, and that's something that they really have to aim to, is making sure that the crowd is not into this game whatsoever. And we all know how wild the Winnipeg fans can be, especially when their team is hot.
And Rebecca trying to shoot from beyond the arc, not able to convert. Edmonton looking to extend this lead here, giving it down to Clark. Over to Volkov on the perimeter. Wolf drives to the basket, gets the foul, and
Ooh.
one. Opportunity now. Nikolai
Yep.
coming back to
Nikolai.
Canada. Actually
Yeah,
playing against the team that originally drafted him.
Yeah, for sure, and that's something that you can probably like look into as, you know, a long time vet. He's been moved around a little bit, starting off in Winnipeg, then going into Las Vegas for a
Well,
little while, and then
I was gonna say, it's actually funny because he was missing the and one. He was drafted by Vegas, traded on draft night to Winnipeg, and then went to Vegas after his rookie contract anyways.
yep, and now he's back in Canada playing for Edmonton. So he's known these teams quite a lot, it seems like. So it'll be interesting how well they play, as they have been doing pretty well, but the basket for Winnipeg does cut the deficit down to 3.
And now down to Cooper, blocked on the way up, and it's gonna be Baltave. Quick, fast break opportunity. Akusta dishing down to Malcolm. Malcolm again elevating in the post for the dunk, bringing it back within 1.
And that's something you gotta be really careful with, those fast break opportunities, as Winnipeg is able to go ahead and take advantage of that pretty easily. So Edmonton has to be careful to not let that be a common thing, as Buckley goes for a mid-ranger, and he's not gonna get it down this time.
No, and you gotta keep an eye on Cooper. Obviously, he was attacking the paint last time, but his bread and butter is for me on the arc. The Beaver is able to make it rain like no one out there, and Baltave not able to get the drive to the basket. Back and forth we go, but Edmonton needs to silence this crowd here with a well-drawn up play, but Volkov wide open in the post off the glass, dished down low by Cooper, able to make that basket easily after, I believe that was 2 screens on the perimeter to get down low that open.
Yeah, it was very good defensive play calling there for offensive play calling there for the Excavators there to get that easy layup. But now we got to see how Winnipeg answers here.
Marneau from beyond the arc is good. The golden retriever able to hit from beyond the arc, tying it up 11-11.
Yeah, Francois Martineau really finding a really good home here with Winnipeg. Has moved around quite a little bit since moving to former team Texas, and now he's just been thriving here within Winnipeg.
That he has, and I mean another player played for Edmonton before switching over to the Voyagers. So, you know, also a bit of experience with the Edmonton. Obviously played before Bobby came onto the team, I believe. So the style of play has changed since then. As unable to convert down low in the post, Edmonton another chance here.
Yeah, that's something that's very intriguing about this rivalry. There are a lot of players within both teams that have played for these organizations, so they know each other quite well, even if the colors are a little bit different from each other.
I mean, I guess once you played for one Canadian team, getting that visa again is a little easier.
Yeah, for sure.
Drive to the basket, nice screen there, getting open but not able. I kind of wish would have tacked a little bit further into the paint, but decided to pull up around the free throw line. Buckley with the ball. The oft-forgotten second Beaver of the Edmonton Excavators, giving it down to Clark, but not able to convert off of that screen attempt.
Yeah, so far, Winnipeg's doing a really good job trying to keep it within distance, as they get another good basket there from Francois Martineau, cutting it down to 2.
Yeah, good spin move, laying it in off the glass, and now Volkov getting the basket at the perimeter, trying to drive into the post, not able to, having to pick it up. Giving it back to Buckley, but the shot clock's starting to be a problem here. 10 seconds, gonna call for the screen, gets an open lane to the basket, double team, decides to take the shot. Could have dished it out to the perimeter, I feel like, to the rookie and let her, you know, take that open 3, but I think he got a little focused on the basket there.
Yeah, I think with the double team, it can put a lot of pressure on you, and it prevents you from thinking very clearly in that situation, but a failed opportunity there for Winnipeg as they just go ahead and pass it over to the Excavators.
Yeah, Cooper able to intercept that ball down low in the post, giving Edmonton an extra possession here. But the rookie trying to get a play drawn up and not able to. Ooh, dangerous pass from Volkov to Clark, but the two Giants able to connect on that pass play.
Yeah, that was just some very risky passes, but they really want to rely on getting into the paint and using their big first to really kind of play into it. And that might change a little bit if we see a certain polar bear come into the game
Yeah, I was gonna
on the
say,
Winnipeg
the only
side.
reason they could do that was because it was Rebecca on the floor. I mean, 6'10" is nothing to sneeze at, but if it was the 8-foot polar bear, I don't think they would have been able to connect Nikolai and Xavier on that pass. But we'll see an
Yeah,
and
but
one.
yeah, now one opportunity here for Balta. We'll see if the first one goes down.
Sorry, not an and one. They missed the shot. So yeah, first one is good. Yeah, Xavier is 4 inches taller than Rebecca, and Nikolai is 5 inches. So a little bit of height advantage there. But all they have to do is bring out the bear, who stands tall above, I think, everyone on the excavators lineup.
Yeah, and that's going to be something that they're going to have to plan very well for. Probably have to rely on spacing to possibly get them drawn away from the paint when we get to that point. But right now, the Excavators doing a really good job offensively as they're up by 20 points so far in this quarter.
Yeah, and that was off another great three from the rookie, able to find the space from beyond the arc to get that shot off. And she's not really feeling any kind of pressure here. And a double team down in the post, fighting through it instead of dishing out, unable to convert. Another opportunity for Edmonton to push this lead a little bit more. Did they give it to the hot punter? They're going to give it to Buckley from beyond the arc. They're trying to hit the threes, and no good. And I feel like that's something we talked about during the draft, is that Edmonton seemed to be going with the idea of, we're going to outscore you, but we may not be able to stop you on defense always.
Yeah, as we see another foul being drawn, as Francois is able to go in the line for 2. And I do have to agree with you on this one, is because that's something that both Bobby and I actually know pretty well, because back in the day when the Arctics thrived on the 3-guard setup, trying to spread the ball around a little bit, as Francois does make that second free throw, cutting the deficit down to 4. So yeah, it's interesting to be able to see how well the Edmonton is trying to play into that style, as they do have a lot of guards that are on the smaller side but know how to spread the ball with their perimeter shooting.
Yeah, but also having Xavier, their re-signed rookie draftee from 2 years ago, able to get it down in the post and get baskets. They've Acosta from beyond the arc for 3, no good. Wide open look there. You have to hit those if you're giving that open of a look.
Yeah, those are something that you really don't want to miss in that point. While yes, it could not be Acosta's shot, it would be something that is just that easy to try to take your time and really take advantage of those opportunities to cut this deficit down.
And Clark using the advantage, matched up against Baltave, able to lay it up and in. That's 10 points already for the Husky.
Yeah, and this is probably where you might have to consider a timeout, as things are starting to get a little bit out of control here, as they're now found themselves down by 8. But they do get the basket there to try and stop the bleeding a little bit.
Yeah, Volkov not able to match up against the Pangolin, able to bully his way. And we see it does Lee on the floor now. And, a bit of was drafted, not this last draft, but the draft before. As we see a missed 3, but Clark able to get the offensive rebound. Buckley over to Volkov. Back to Lee. I was saying Lee kind of seemed like maybe he was going to be the point guard of the future, but we've seen Fiorella Lopez come in and kind of take over as the rookie, and now there's questions about what is Lee going to do going into next year.
Yeah, it's really an opportunity to really think about, because guards really come and go a lot from a little bit everywhere, and I know it's a little bit rare for a team to be in need of a point guard at times, but I could definitely see Lee really thriving wherever he goes, whether he decides to stay in Edmonton or go somewhere else. Really good dunk there from Clark.
Yeah, absolutely laying it up and slamming it down. I mean, we're talking about, obviously, the polar bear on the other side of the court, who we'll hopefully get to see in a little bit. DQ, you think of absolute physicality and bullying his way to the post, but with Xavier and a bit of Volkov, they're more of the finesse centers. They're not going to physically be able to bully their way, but they're going to be able to spin their way around and slip and slide their way to the basket. And, the two different kind of styles you see with that. And I think that's partially why we're seeing DQ come off the bench. He's been in the league for so long, and trying to play with that kind of body for that long, it's going to wear down on him eventually.
Yeah, it's difficult. We see a quick interception there with Zachary Cooper. And that's not the way you really want to start if you're the Winnipeg, as Nika McNamara is able to lay it up and in.
Yeah, and it's intercepted pass there, and Winnipeg starting to fall behind 10 points here, and they've subbed their bench in, and Winnipeg has a lot of veteran players on the team, as we do see the Bear coming out onto the court. They have Mike Timmons, obviously, Eves, Francois still on the floor, not able to get that basket, though. So they have a lot of experience they can rely on coming off their bench, but they need to have some explosiveness as well, as Tate able to lay it up back and in.
Yeah, speaking of a big fair battle, we already know that's an old school battle right there between the two. As being able to see both of those players be here for a long time, it's so strange seeing them in their current jerseys they are now, as DQ showing his strength within that basket.
Just as I talked about, DQ bullying his way to the post, and I mean, you're right, both of them coming off the bench for their respective teams, and there comes a time for every player in their career, unfortunately, where they either have to accept coming off the bench or, realize that they're going to have to hang up their jersey.
Yeah, and speaking of, Yves Carboneau, someone who is planning to retire at the end of this year, ends up drawing that foul, as Zachary Cooper is able to make the first one.
Yeah, 11-point game here, possibility to push it to 12. Big scoring flourish coming out from Edmonton in this final couple minutes of this first quarter. We already are above 30 here. Winnipeg looking to stop the bleeding and, do some damage of their own, but it's going to have to be in the second quarter at this point.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it would be good to get the momentum and try to get a basket here. As they do just that. Great shot there for Winnipeg as they do cut the deficit down to 10, but yeah, that's going to be a big thing when it comes to the second quarter, is to try to find a way to get into rhythm, as Edmonton just be able to do whatever they want, as we get another easy three there for Zachary Cooper.
Yeah, I mean, off the screen, open look, he almost was leaning over the line, trying not to step inside, and, again, the three-point game for Winnipeg with Eves. Francois, I believe, is like their main three-point shooter in their starting lineup right now. Eves definitely was the other part of that duo, as DQ trying to get the last second shot, not able to convert, and that will end the first quarter, 35-22. Except for Winnipeg, they're going through a bit of a, I don't want to say identity crisis, but, having to realize what their future is going to be past this season.
Yeah, it's just being able to figure out what's going to be the next step, because they do have a number of quality veterans that are still going to be playing for at least for a few more years, I would imagine. But at the same time, they still have a lot of young players that need to see if they fit well within the system, as they are trying to retool to continue to be competitive within the league.
Yeah, well, I mean, speaking of veterans, Scooty Barrett coming off the bench for Edmonton on the floor now. Getting to play with Zach Tate is, I guess, a bit of a comfort, having a former teammate join him up in Canada.
Yeah, for sure. After that big trade between Hawaii and the Excavators, being able to get Scooty Barrett to come over here into Edmonton. And so far, so good. The leadership has done very well for them. But as I'm saying that, DQ doing a really excellent job just showing how well he performs with that ferocious
they're just throwing
dunk.
the ball up to him in the air, and he's catching it. I mean, they're not even doing good passes, in my opinion. They're just throwing Hail Marys, and the Bear just reaches up and pulls it down from the sky.
Hey, that's something that could be really feasible. Like, DQ has been a dominant center in the league for a very, very long time. So it's not surprising that he's still very effective even at the twilight years of his career.
I mean, that is very fair. And I mean, looking at Winnipeg and even a bit at Edmonton, both teams, have a lot of money tied up with some of those veteran players. DQ and Eves alone costing over $30 million this year. For coming off the bench, that is a lot of money. But there, Carboneau showing his value from a three from the sideline.
Yeah, very much needed 3 at that, as they do cut the deficit back within single digits with that basket. Now they need to go ahead and try and get a stop here.
Oh, and a
Ooh.
big foul there. He's pushing Cooper to the ground.
Yeah, and I think Cooper's kind of shoving him. He knows that, like, out of respect, if he was a little bit younger, he'd probably go chew him out for that one. That was a very rough foul there from Eve.
Wow.
But
I say you
Cooper
gotta
will
be
go
careful. You
ahead.
don't want to get any flagrant fouls start getting called on you.
Yeah, for sure. But, Cooper will go ahead and take the 2 baskets, as he is only going to make one out of the 2.
Yeah, I mean, back within 11 still a 9-point game here. Single digits, opportunity to definitely chip this down a few more. And again, another Hail Mary pass to DQ. Just going to lay it up and in off the glass.
I mean, that wasn't really a Hail Mary. Lee was on DQ in that possession. You could just give that to him all day, every day.
You could have thrown it at DQ's head and Lee couldn't have intercepted that.
Exactly. There's just no way that Lee has the athletic ability to be able to get that one. But
Darian
right
Baptiste,
now,
down low in the post.
Yeah, Darian Baptiste doing a pretty good job as well. Another new face here for the Excavators.
Ooh, behind the back pass to Lynn, down low in the post. Lynn able to lay it up and in for Winnipeg. The Mantis, bright pink, hard to miss, but able to get a lane in the basket off that great behind the back pass. A little bit fancy there from Winnipeg, but if it works, it works. And Lee almost losing the ball.
Yeah, right now, good defense here for Winnipeg. Really trying to drain as much of that shot clock as they can. Go for a tough shot, and it's not going to be good. So good defensive effort there for the Voyagers, doing whatever they can to try to cut the deficit down.
Yeah, Lee got a little bit too focused on trying to hold on to the ball and find a lane for himself instead of looking to see what his team could do. As the shot clock just worn down, and Edmonton immediately double team it. Oh, it forces the turnover. They put enough pressure on Lynn that she threw the ball over the head of the target and into the crowd.
Yeah, and that shows how difficult it can be when you're in the paint trying to get that basket, because you're going to get collapsed by a bunch of defenders to try and force you to make a bad mistake such as that one. Not something you really want to see if you're a Voyager fan.
And so it's a tough play there down low in the post when Edmonton is going to go ahead and commit to that double team like that. See, a 3 off the screen is good. Back to double digits here. Now we see the starters back on the floor.
Yeah, and that's going to be dangerous. The Voyagers are going to go ahead and take a quick timeout here, as they really need to go ahead and see what they have to do to try and slow the Excavators down, especially on the perimeter, as that's been a huge issue with them.
Yeah, I mean, that's been the problem, I feel like, with Winnipeg's defense, is that they've had to deal with Clark putting up double digits in the first quarter, so they tried to pull into the paint to stop him, and that just leaves it open in the perimeter. And Winnipeg, I don't feel like has enough of a defensive anchor down low in the post, so they can just put one person down there. DQ was that during their finals run. They got them that championship, before their championship, they brought in DQ after the championship to try and repeat, because they lost their Dragon that was so instrumental in that finals run.
Yeah, and that's something that, they still miss, because, like, even though DQ was a pretty solid replacement, he is on the older end, and they weren't able to get it done for that year. But they still have a really strong core regardless, as you get to see Clark being able to find a way to get past the polar bear.
No, he doesn't. He got blocked.
Oh, he doesn't. He got blocked.
Yeah, I know. Gracious. It sounded like it dunked with how loud it was, but no, it was rejected.
Yeah, DQ really just showing again why he is one of the most ferocious centers in the league with that one.
Yeah, that it sounded like the rim was breaking there. I couldn't tell if that was because DQ was breaking it or Clark was trying to force it in, but the ball did not have to be inbounded.
When you have 2 furs that can add up to over 500 pounds, you might want to be worried a little bit for the basket, in all honesty.
That's why it's against the rules for 2 players. It's against the rules for 2 players to grab the rim, for very good reasons.
Sure. Yeah, because I don't think the rim was able to handle all that weight. Hey, I don't even think they can handle one person with over 200 pounds like that. But in
Not
any
when they
case,
jump down and come down that hard. And Cooper in the post, able to get a basket. We saw him hitting it from beyond the arc, now attacking the paint here, pushing it back to 7. Voltave gonna bring it up. We talked about him in the playoffs as a rookie. The fact that he was able to maintain his composure and help lead the team to a championship, and now getting that success so early in your rookie year must be difficult to
ooh.
have to try and match it and live up to his double block from Clark.
Yeah, Acosta really trying to find a way to get into the paint, but Clark denies him multiple times here as we get a quick, fast break points there for Edmonton as Fiorello goes for a quick dunk, and now we get a quick timeout for Winnipeg.
Yeah, and I mean, that was a full court pass to Cooper, who then dished it down low in the post. So speed was the name of the game there. As again, Clark got 2 blocks, and I feel like Cooper was already halfway down the court after that first block because he knew it was going to end up in his team's possession.
Oh yeah, for sure. And right now we're seeing a little bit of mistakes here for the Voyagers. They need to find a way to clean them up a little bit, just so that they won't make this go crazy, as a 3 was missed.
Yeah, Malka trying to hit a 3 wide open, but again, that really pushing his range. I've seen him hit him before, but it's not like I'm not gonna put money on him making that. Let me just put you that
Yeah,
way.
for sure.
It's a ball come to Clark, but huge block right out of bounds. Clark rejected down low in the post.
Yeah, very rare to see Clark getting blocked like that. And that's gonna get the Winnipeg side very much hype here as they do get it swap out a little bit here. As we go ahead and continue this possession here for Edmonton.
Yeah, that was Estella, absolutely sending it to the crowd as first-class male, in fact. It's Cooper able to hit the tough 3 over the defender, and again, this is why the Beaver got paid.
Yeah.
This is a very good reason why the Beaver got paid in terms of just how absolutely devastating he can be from beyond the arc.
Yeah, one of the highest paid shooting guards within the FBA, and for good reason too, just showing his trust with that basket. And now they have a chance to extend the lead even more so as they're up by 12, as Lopez is able to drain it down with another 3. And now we're starting to get things a little out of hand here over in Winnipeg.
Yeah, very quickly, and again, this is where I feel like the rookie, having Cooper be able to take some of the pressure off of her leaves her those more open looks. It takes a little bit of the attention off of her and gives her those opportunity to do what she does best. And we're seeing a bit of a tandem forming here as we see a 3 coming out from Voltave answering back, and you hear the crowd getting excited after seeing that.
Yeah, really good opportunity for them to try to answer back. Really needed that 3 there, but they need to get a stop here as they are going to do just that here with Malka once again doing good on defense and getting the rebound.
Yeah, Malka may not have the height, but he is able to bully the offensive players and keep them from backing down to the basket. I mean, you might have a little bit of a look over him, but you are not getting closer than he allows. And Malka, again, from beyond the arc, is able to convert it. Okay, he is 50% from beyond the arc, so I guess he is a great 3-point shooter tonight.
Yeah, for tonight with the two threes that he's made so far. But
attempted, yeah.
So right now, Winnipeg cutting it back within single digits. We'll see if they continue that momentum here as the crowd is screaming defense at this point.
Oh, yeah, they want to see it shut down there in the final 3 minutes of this quarter, but no, drive to the basket is good. Cooper able to get it once again. And Winnipeg looked like they were about to fall off the wagon, but down by, I believe it was 15 at one point, but back within 11 now. So they're not done yet, and they want to finish this quarter within single digits. And a foul there, and who's it going to be on? Volkov. Malco hit the line for 2.
Yeah, Nikolai with the foul for here. So now they have a chance to cut this down even more so within single digits. The first one is made.
And subs coming out on the floor. Going to give Cooper a bit of a rest. He's been out for a while now. Some of the starters coming in. Most of the starters back in for Winnipeg as well. But 3 minutes left to go in this first half here.
Yeah,
Buckley,
I'm not surprised. Oh,
let's say Buckley found a lane to the basket, but Clark
oh,
travels out of bounds, not able to. The pass was a little low. I feel like he couldn't get the ball up. I think he wanted to shoot immediately, but he couldn't.
yeah. Not really paying attention to where the line was, so he did step over. So really good defense there for Winnipeg once again. Going to see if they can try and take advantage of it, as they are within single digits and they could make this into possibly a 3-position game if they're able to make this basket.
I'm sorry, I don't think it was he couldn't see where his paws were. I think the 7'2" Wolf was running a little too fast to stop on a dime.
That's fair.
Unless you
Right now,
want his
Boston.
ACL to blow.
Yeah, nah, I don't think that'd be a great thing to see for either team, really, as we do see a quick basket there. And that caused Edmonton to call the first time out of the game.
Yeah, as I said, back within single digits here. And I'm sorry, Marcus. I know back when you were playing, at 6'7", 220, you could stop on a dime, but
That's definitely not me anymore. That's long gone.
I was gonna say, if you want, we could see how that goes out there during the
No, I
All-Star
think I'm
game. We could do
good.
a commentator game.
Oh, goodness gracious. I mean, like, I think that I'll probably be the most valuable player in that game, I'll be honest with you.
Baltave reading that passing lane and jumps on it, able to steal it. Already gonna take it down on the other end. I wish he had tried to drop a little bit of a play rather than going for a fast break, but great interception there. That was a great turnover. Just missed opportunity to convert it.
Yeah, and even though they weren't able to convert it, that gives an opportunity for Edmonton to be a little bit more rattled and try to be more careful with the ball, as we do see a nice pass over to Clark, who tries to lay it up, and it's not going to be good there. So, again, really nice spacing there for the Voyagers to try and stop any kind of opportunities for the Excavators to attack the basket.
Yeah, down to Rebecca in the post, and immediately double team, but that leaves Acosta open for me on the arc. It is good, and Edmonton, I see they want to go for the double teams. I get it, but if they're going to leave Winnipeg that wide open on the perimeter, they're going to have to eat these threes.
Oh, yeah, and that's going to make this a much more different game, as now we're seeing that the Voyagers are only down by 4. And they have to be really, really careful in trying to go for those double teams, as you say, because they can easily take advantage of it. And we get a quick block there from Eric Baltiv. So now things are going to get a little more interesting here.
The shot clock was his enemy, and Yona just hit this from me, the same spot, but a little too much power this time. Acosta not able to get a second of fall. Less than a minute left to go in this first half.
And there might be a little bit of urgency to try and get the Excavators to want to get the Voyager fans to calm down a little bit. But it's going to be very difficult here, as Buckley loses the ball this time.
Yeah, as you saw there, Volkov with the ball was not able to back down at all against Malka, and forced to give it over to Buckley and just lost it there. And now Winnipeg getting the turnovers, starting to go their way, forcing Edmonton to make mistakes here.
Yeah, and that's something that you would love to see, as they are looking to try and make a tough shot here, and it's going to be in and out there for Martineau. So Edmonton has a chance to try and extend this lead and calm this crowd down a little bit.
It doesn't matter at this point. They were up by 15. They should have be at least double digits by now, even if Winnipeg coming back. But no, 3 as the buzzer not able to convert, and the halftime comes to an end. And Edmonton finds themselves up by 4 here, but the momentum, I would say, is in Winnipeg's favor right now going into the half.
100%. That's just something that you got to be really careful here when it comes to what the both of these teams have to deal with. And now that Edmonton is in the situation of they don't have the momentum coming in, they're gonna have to figure out what they need to do in order to try and swing it back in their favor. Being up by as much as 15 within that second quarter really kind of shows how much spirit that the Voyagers have to try and stay in this one.
Yeah, and like I said, they might have to make a change to how they're approaching defense against Winnipeg. I mean, the double team, we saw it generate a turnover earlier, but we've also seen 2 or 3 threes come out of it as a whole. And, 1 turnover versus 3 threes is not a, a good trade-off.
Yeah, and looking over to the stats here, we are seeing that Malca has the most points on the Voyagers end, really relying on a little bit of uh with that 1-3 and really doing very well within the paint.
Yeah, it's an everyone contributing kind of situation right now for Winnipeg. As you saw, the multiple stars with 8 points, but looking at the excavators, it's been the big three: the rookie, Lopez, Clark, and Cooper. The two faces last year, getting the bulk of the scoring done, and pretty much after that, it's whoever had a ball and opportunity to shoot took a shot, and that was about it.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the big thing is just like being able to see how well they did beyond the arc. Just the 3 points overall has been very well put out for a lot of the for the excavators in that situation. So I'm just curious to see what happens here in the second half as we go ahead and start into the third quarter.
Well, as we saw, the excavators, only two of their players had actually hit threes. Obviously, Lopez 3 for 3, and then it was Cooper 3 for 5. The other players who had attempted the threes had missed. Winnipeg at least had spread the threes across four or five different players. So
Yeah,
really,
and I think
go ahead.
Yeah, I think that that's probably going to be the big thing for the Voyagers to continue that momentum is to probably contain those two specifically beyond the arc. Because if a majority of the points coming from them, then if they're able to slow them down, they have a good chance to not only take the lead, but possibly have a big lead on their end.
Right there, you see the first clamp down of Cooper, and I was going to say the exact same thing: is that if you see two players are hitting the threes, just shut them down. I mean, it sounds simple, but if you can even make them miss a few, and I know it's going to cause Clark to maybe get a few more open looks down the post, but if you have to, try to bring DQ back on the floor and help shut him down. You see a block shot there. It's going to be a shot clock violation after that blocked. It's going to be back in. It's still going to be Winnipeg's possession.
Ball. Oh,
sorry, Edmonton's possession.
Yeah. So, at the end of it, yeah, I do agree with you in that instance. Is that like the biggest thing for Winnipeg is to be able to try and if they're able to slow down the perimeter shooting over for Edmonton to continue on that route, then it'll be a lot easier to try and see if they can contain the one guy that could get a majority of their points. And things could really start going well here for Winnipeg. We see a lot of passing on Edmonton's side, and it's not going to do enough.
Yeah. But they had the two bigs on the perimeter going, I don't want to shoot it. I don't want to shoot it. And they just gave it to the rookie and like, your turn.
Yeah, it's not the best thing as like right now the excavators I believe have not made a basket for about 5 minutes into the game right now as now we see the deficit cut down to 1 with that 3 there from Francois Martineau.
Yeah, and it was turnovers. They had multiple possessions that just ended with a turnover, and that kills your ability to make shots. And right there, we see Clark lose the ball into the fans, slipped out of his paws. So, at Winnipeg, a chance to take the lead after being down by like 15 at one point.
Yeah, and that's going to be something that you're going to have to be very scared for if you're an excavator fan, because now the crowd is completely into this game. All the momentum is going on the Voyagers side. They have to do everything they can to try to get a stop, and that's one way to do it here as Xavier Clark gets the block.
Yeah, but you have to imagine, does Bobby call timeout if the lead slips completely? Or is he gonna? Does he let them play with the game plan that he's drawn up for now? And Clark, there, finally able to end the drought for the excavators with his first basket in quite a while.
Yeah, and very, very much needed there as they do get they still are up by 1 possession though, but they need to get another good stop here. But we'll see if that changes.
Francois, perimeter. Clamped down on shot clock, giving me a problem. Calls for the screen to get a look, but that just gives him Volkov to deal with and not able to make it. And Cooper able to pull down the board with Malka on his back.
Yeah, that's a very tough shot there. Volkov, very athletic. We are very well known for his athleticism. So even though that he is on the bigger side and you would think that'd be a disadvantage for our big fur, I don't think that's going to be the case for Nikolov.
Cooper trying to take it himself down to the basket, is able to get it to convert. He knows, I think they're going to try and shut him down, so he's showing them he's not afraid to fight them one-on-one in the post.
Yeah, for sure, and that's something that you're going to have to pretty much see the game plan change a little bit as we get a basket there for the Voyagers, is that they may have to go ahead and really play that pound for pound, go into the paint and score type of vibes here for the Excavators, as they have been able to get some success in that regard.
Yeah, that was a nice shot from Baltave off the double team. Ooh, jump ball. No, yep, jump ball with, I believe, Volkov and maybe Malka. We'll see who's lines up.
Yeah, I believe it's Volkov and Malka that are going to be going here for this jump ball. Both players really trying to obtain the possession of it. So,
oh, and Martinu's going to intercept it. And he has a fast break. He's going to elevate, and the Golden Retriever's going to dunk it down.
Yeah, and now once again, they have an opportunity to take the lead to get a stop here. Really good effort there by the Golden Retriever to be able to intercept the ball that was won by the Excavators from Volkov's athletic ability.
I was going to say, I hate to say it, but he probably expected Volkov to win. And he just knew it was going to come that way, so jumped it.
Yeah, and Fierro Lopez able to go ahead and quiet things down a little bit with the quick basket in the mid-range.
Yep, a 2-point play there, but back within 3. Winnipeg driving to the basket, dishing it out wide to Baltave. We've seen him hit a 3 already tonight, but calls for the screen, not jumping though, giving it to Rebecca, who, that's just giving her a grenade. She is not gonna hit that from beyond there. And
yeah, that was more of a desperation 3 for sure. And it's just not. It just shows how desperate a team can really be if the game plan didn't really work for that possession, and they just have to just shoot a prayer.
So Marcus, is that something that as a player you would go and talk to someone else about after the game? Be like, why'd you give me that ball? You didn't, just because you didn't want your field goal percentage to suffer. Why'd you make me be the one to do it?
I mean, it's just kind of one of those moments where things gonna happen very quickly. When you're on the court, it feels like that the shot clock goes down a lot faster than you would expect it to be. So you kind of have to panic and try to see if there's any opportunity there. You get a quick timeout there for the Excavators, as they're only up by 1, and they have to be really careful in their next game plan.
Yeah, I mean, obviously I don't want to say they've stalled, but compared to how the first quarter went, they have definitely dropped off a bit in scoring. Remember, they had 32, I think, points, 34 points in the first quarter alone, and they haven't matched that in the second and half of the third. So Winnipeg has made an adjustment, and they have not figured out how to beat it.
Yeah, and those adjustments really kind of shows the importance of why Winnipeg is in this game. So Excavators need to find a way to try and adapt as they do get the lead a little bit, and Baltave almost loses the ball there, but is recovered by the Voyagers.
Calling for the screen down. Shot clock starting to be a problem. Not effective at all at the screen. Spin move down into the post. Shoots it up with a prayer and not able to convert.
Yeah, that's some great defense there, but I believe that was Zachary Cooper on the defensive end. Really trying to make sure to keep on pace with Baltave to prevent him from making an easy basket.
And we're going to see a screen there. Wide open lane to the basket, but Balka comes over and gets in the way, but the rookie able to get the ball over. No issue.
Yeah, right now Fiorella Lopez really showing her offensive prowess here on the Excavators, as Eric really trying to take over this game, but is not going to do it with that basket.
Cooper now with the ball. Looks like they're going to go in ISO. No, they're going to call for a screen to get Lopez open from beyond the arc. They're going to try and make a statement, but not able to convert there. If that had fallen, the crowd would have gone quiet.
Yeah, it would have been dead silent if that would hit, because Fiorella was wide open. It's rare to see her miss a shot like that.
It's a double screen, but fatigue is going to start trickling into this game. I feel like Marnu's already starting to. They had him play a lot in that first and second quarter. We see a double defense come in and block. I don't know if that was which one is going to get the credit for it, because both of them went up. We'll have to review the tape, I guess.
Yeah,
Wide
for
open
sure.
off the screen. No good again, rattling out from beyond the arc.
Yeah, and right now Winnipeg has to take advantage of these misses here. It seems like the Excavators are relying a little bit too much of the 3 ball. So Winnipeg just need to find a way to get pacing back on their end and try to find a way to get some kind of basket here. Zatari not able to get that mid-range. So right now scoring has slowed down for both teams.
Yeah, Rebecca tried to back down against against Clark, but decided to go with a step back jumper, and it just didn't work. And there we go, another double screen to get open. Same shot, same miss, different player. Like I said, they're going with this aggressive 3-point stance here, and right now it's not falling, but Winnipeg has to stop it because eventually those shots will convert.
Yeah, and I think the one thing is that both teams seem to be trying to do the same play over and over again. Like I've seen the play where a player shoots from the mid-range, a very tough shot, and it's no good once again. So they need to find a way to get a little bit more creative with the play calling as we finally get a basket here, but this time it's Cooper laying it up and in.
Yeah, you saw the defenders, the offense pulled out to the perimeter in order to leave the post wide open, and Cooper was able to just get down low and get the pass from Clark for that basket, one-on-one. But again, that was a lot of missed opportunities for both teams. I believe it was almost a 2-minute drought for both of them.
Yeah, for sure, and that's something that that could be scary for both sides. I mean, it's frustrating for a Voyager fan, especially because they had opportunities to possibly cut the deficit back down to a single possession game and maybe even take the lead with how costly those misses were for the Excavators.
Without a doubt, now we're going to see the subs in, bench players on for both teams, give their starters a chance to rest, and Kusta from beyond the arc is good for Winnipeg. Off the bench, able to hit the 3 immediately, giving some life to the team.
Yeah, and that's something you would love to see there for the Excavators. Acosta just coming in and just showing that swagger here with that 3.
Oh, and Lopez
Ooh.
losing track, driving to the basket, steps out of bounds, and more subs for both teams, I feel like. Lee's going to be coming in, or Lee will be replacing, and Arya will be taking over at point.
Yeah, I think they're trying to give Fiora Lopez a little bit of rest. She might be a bit rattled there, especially after costing a turnover here, as Hatari was able to lay it up and in, and once again, they're back up to a 1-possession game, and now we're back in that conversation. The Voyagers maybe taking the lead.
Buckley down low to Barrett. Barrett, reverse dunk is good.
Yeah, right now the size really coming into play here for the Excavators. I wouldn't be surprised if they bring in DQ if that ends up becoming a big problem as this game goes on.
Yeah, Baptiste. Oh, I expect 100% to see DQ again. Obviously, they limit his minutes for a reason. You don't want the tired polar bear not able to run up and down the court anymore. It's a 3, no good from Edmonton. 4-point game here. Winnipeg letting Eves bring it up the court. Hyde now top of the key. Calling for the screen. Gets an open look from beyond the arc for 3. Off the back iron. No good.
If that would have been made, you probably would hear this entire stadium erupt if that 3 was made. But right now, Lee gonna go ahead and make sure the crowd stays silent with that one. What a deadly 3 there from Lee.
Yeah, but 7-point game here. We've seen Winnipeg come back from much worse, but now it's a question of who can step up as Hyde. Ball travels all around the rim, but no good there. Another missed opportunity. Now Lee on the other end. Giving it back to Buckley, back to Baptiste, passing around the perimeter, calling for the screen. Driving to the basket. Ooh, fouled on the way up. We haven't seen too many fouls here tonight, actually, comparatively. So
Yep.
Winnipeg will go the line. Edmonton will go the line for 2. Winnipeg, that's their first foul this quarter.
Yeah, both teams really playing a very clean game between the two of them, but right now both teams can be a little bit more aggressive with how they defend as well, with how well they've been cleaning up, especially going into the fourth quarter. I imagine it being a little bit more of a slugfest as we get into the late minutes of this game.
Yeah, I mean, we'll have to see what changes they make because obviously uh, we've seen Edmonton go for the threes
Ooh,
nonstop, and Baptiste with the big block there. Edmonton's defense is shutting down Winnipeg right now. Lee
yeah.
on the perimeter. Falling for a screen, does do a pump fake for three and is good. Back to double-digit lead here now. Edmonton starting to slip away here. Winnipeg might need to call another timeout.
Yeah, they may have to, but it looks like they're trying to gonna go and save the few times they have left for the fourth quarter, as this looks like to be the last possession of this game. Well, this quarter, excuse me. As we get a quick screen there call from Martineau, and the big polar bear trying to finish this off, but it's not going to be good. So that'll be the end of the third quarter, as the Excavators really trying to make a statement here as they're up by double digits.
Yeah, and it came in that last, flurry of scoring in the final third minutes of the third quarter. And really, it was just how much they shut down Winnipeg's offense. I mean, I'm going to look at the end of the game to see how many points they scored that quarter, but it was not a lot.
Yeah, for sure. But now they've really got to play catch up here within the start of this fourth quarter, as they're down by 12. I imagine that you might see a little bit more 3 points opportunities here if they're granted it.
Yeah, and they're of course going to go their polar bear, their rock off the bench to get them going offensively. Basket there, and it really is going to be shutting down. They need to shut down, and Baptiste heat check is good, and another three. That's 3 straight threes, I feel like, for the Excavators.
Yeah, it seems like they're going to have to try and be more aggressive on the defense on the perimeter side, because the Excavators are just doing numbers right now beyond the arc.
Yeah, Francois with the ball on the court. Gets a screen from DQ and back to DQ, and DQ going to go up, get the foul, and one. Kuki going to get called there. And I was talking about Edmonton going into next year. They have 2 players that are significant cap hits going into free agency. Obviously, Scooney and Kuki, between the two of them, $25 million. That's a fair bit of money that they'll be able to potentially help fill out their bench, or maybe even go for a big splash in free agency.
Yeah, it's a pretty big possibility, as the Excavators are really just trying to find some kind of footing to get over the hump of such a tall task of a division, as Kuki is able to go ahead and get the quick dunk. Like, both of these teams, like, if they're in any other division, they would really be in the talks of possibly winning it all. But with the fact that both Dakota leading the fray there, it makes it a lot more difficult.
Oh, no doubt. I mean, the fact that it is not just Dakota, but Montana as well.
Yeah, Montana too, who were the champions of last year. So it's just like, it just seems like a gauntlet of a division between both of these teams. And so far in this game, the Edmonton Excavators really just showing a pretty strong statement, as they are doing a very good job trying to keep that cushion up.
And we'll see Cooper head to the line for some free throws. And it's not to say Winnipeg won't have opportunities to make a big splash either. I mean, we were talking about how DQ and Eves, both free agents, but also Malka. And, between those 3 alone, that's like almost $50 million between the 3 of them.
Yeah,
so they'll have lots of cash to spend next year.
Yeah, you can expect probably a big change over here for Winnipeg, as this core might be the last ride for this core, considering a lot of players are aging right now, as DQ gets fouled there by Kuki once again.
Yeah, that I feels like Kuki's been brought on the court to say, stop him from shooting field goals, make him earn them from the free throw line. If Kuki fouls out, it's not a big deal, but DQ good on the first and good on the second. We've kind of joked about DQ's free throws over the years. You know, he airballed a few times, and so
Yeah,
uh, it makes sense to foul him rather than letting him get a free basket.
yeah, for sure. I think that's kind of like, even if he gets like one out of the two, that's going to be considered a win. Especially as the closing minutes really start coming into fruition. As we get a nice three there. I
Ooh,
believe that was from Lynn.
yeah, some life coming in for Winnipeg now. Back to 8 deficit here. Edmonton, we've been seeing them try and hit those threes, and you know they can be such a momentum swing or a missed
Ooh.
opportunity. And ball stripped, almost lost. Baptiste able to grab it before it goes over the line, but
But
5
yeah, with
seconds here.
less than 5 seconds, and they lose the ball anyway. As Carpenter was able to go ahead and strip it around. Cooper.
Beaver
So
not able to
Winnipeg.
hold on to it. That's the second or third turnover here tonight, and Eves, with the
Ooh.
defense all over him, still gets the basket. Now it's Bobby calling timeout. Not happy at seeing this lead slip away.
Yeah, this is the second time in this game that a big deficit has cut within single digits, just like that, within like a minute, really. So they need to be very careful and try not to make too many mistakes on the offensive end and try to force um, passes that need to happen, or at least not be too loose with dribbling. As we get a nice quick three there for the excavators to stop the momentum going over to Winnipeg's end.
Yeah, but that was such a tough shot. They were falling sideways when they hit that three, and you know, I mean, it worked this time, but that is a low percentage shot, and I know that was coming from the rookie, but still, you don't want to see missed opportunities because of that.
Yeah, for sure. And we see a lane open here, and it's not going to be able to go down this time for the Voyagers. So Excavators once again to possibly to double digits, and it's not going to be good that time.
Yeah, Lopez, she's going to learn as she's in the league for longer that, you know, you don't have to commit to the drive. You see your matchup against DQ, you don't have to try and beat him in the post one-on-one on a fast break. You have options that might be a better opportunity, and that just comes with experience.
Yeah, for sure. I'm sure, like, as she continues to grow and develop within this league, she won't make those kinds of mistakes. Because I know one of the big things is just to try not to force unnecessary baskets like that one. I would say that was a little bit of an unnecessary one. And to just kind of survey the field and be able to see what better options are there before making that attempt.
Francois down the post, giving it to DQ off the screen, is able to get the basket there, and the Polar Bear, you see him getting pumped up right now.
Yeah, for sure. He's able to take advantage of the size differential between whoever's on him, no matter who is on the court, really. Considering that he basically has just about a foot on almost everyone on the court right now.
Yeah, unless Edmonton's going to bring their starters back in, I do see some of them starting to stand up and head towards the line. Ooh, ball would have been blocked there, but given to Malco, who was left wide open. Again, the double teaming for Edmonton, leaving players open for extra baskets, and you know they've committed to this play style. They're going to continue with it, but open lane. Cooper breaking free from the defender is able to lay it up, and a 9-point game here with a little under 7 minutes left to go.
Yeah, it's still a game that the Voyagers could steal if they're able to go ahead and continue doing well offensively, but just need to get a couple of stops here and there to really get momentum come their way. And they get an and one opportunity there as Cooper draws the foul.
Yeah, the golden retriever drove to the basket, earned an opportunity for a 3-point play here to get his team back within 6. And we do see substitutions for both teams coming in.
Ooh,
No good.
Not able to get the old school 3-point play, as I'd like to say, as the Excavators are still up by 3 possessions, 89-82.
Yeah, but the thing is they have to be converting. There's so much time left at missed opportunities. And Winnipeg going for a double team on the perimeter, but Clark cleans up the miss.
Yeah, I'm surprised that they started to do double teaming right now on Cooper, I believe, since considering that he has been one of the strongest players for the Excavators defensively. And we get a quick dunk there from Utari.
Yeah, the Badger found a slip behind her defender and able to find an open lane to the basket. Good court awareness to see her on the breakaway. And yeah, you're right. Cooper losing
Ooh.
track, trying to get around his defender, stepped out of bounds, and I think that's going to be the final substitutions to bring all the starters back on the floor. With
Yeah, and
less than 6 minutes, they want to finish this.
yeah, and that's a rare mistake you really don't want to see, especially at this point in the game. It feels like the Voyagers has some of the momentum right now, but we'll see how well this goes here as we await for Hutari going for a long two, and it's going to be in and out.
Yeah, Rebecca got a little bit of a breakaway there, but again, starting to stretch her range a bit. Clark dishing over to Cooper. Cooper on the perimeter gets a screen from Clark for beyond the arc, no good. And ooh, Clark almost cleaned it up too. But battle for the board goes the way of Winnipeg. Now Kusta.
Yeah, right.
Saying the post. One-on-one off the glass, no good.
Yeah, it seems like there's a little bit more urgency here for Winnipeg to try and make something out of these drives, but they need to be able to allow the play to develop, because it could have been an easy pass over to somewhere into the perimeter. Try and slow things down a little bit and get an actual play developed in that situation.
Yeah, now, ooh, wide open. They tried to go for the double team, and they left Cooper. You can't leave Cooper that wide open, as he's now put up 27 here tonight.
Yeah, 27. It seems like you're the usual for Zachary Cooper here, but you are right. That's not something you want to see for the Voyagers, because double teaming can be a big thing, but it's one of those situations where it's like, all right, pick your poison. Do you want to double team Cooper and leave easy lane for Clark to go ahead and take advantage of, or do you want to double team Clark and give a wide open three for Cooper? So it's something that they're going to have to really be careful with when it comes to double teaming.
Yeah, and we saw Malka get blocked out of bounds at the inbound, no good. 10-point game here and time starting to become a factor, and empty possessions are not something Winnipeg can afford anymore. And Volkov, they can leave him for beyond the arc wide open, but Edmonton just letting clock wind down, giving it to Cooper. The hot paw is good. Falls over after the shot, but able to convert. And if Winnipeg can't hit a shot here and stop him on the next, this might be game already. This is a 5-possession game now, even with threes.
Yeah, and it shows the difficulty as we get a quick block there, and the Excavators have all the time in the world with Cooper basically icing this game with another 33 points in this game right now as they hit the century mark.
That's just 3 straight threes coming out from the Beaver. I mean, that is just daily, and that is again why they paid him the big bucks, to have that explosiveness available when it comes out, and they need it to come out more often if they want to make a kind of run to the championship. As Clark will get called for the illegal screen, but with 3 minutes and some change left to go, down by 16, that is a lot of ground to make up here for Winnipeg.
Yeah,
and not a lot of room for mistakes.
They just basically need to go ahead and just chuck up threes just every time they have an opportunity to. Like, if they see a guy open at the perimeter, just throw it up and pray that it goes in, because that's just kind of what they do. And we see another mistake there, as I think that basically just sums it up after that failed possession.
Well, I mean, it's ice, because at this point, when Edmonton, they don't have to shoot. They are going to, because Cooper's feeling it, but a missed shot there. He could have absolutely ended it there, and that's the problem, is scoring drought. 3.5 minutes for Winnipeg. Edmonton obviously has been on fire in that 3.5 minutes, so that has not helped. But Winnipeg could have been within, 10 points here had they made a couple baskets already.
Yeah, if they had if they actually took advantage of some of the missed opportunities that the Excavators had made, it probably would have been a different story here within the ending of this game. I mean, they've had moments, they've had opportunities to go ahead and take this lead, but Edmonton was able to find a way to regroup and go ahead and try and take control of the flow of this game.
And they're trying to find someone. You can tell they want to take a three, but they just are not finding a look. It's going to be Buckley for me on the arc. No good there. And now under 2 minutes left to go. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see both teams sub in their bench for the next dead ball situation. Because another illegal screen from Clark. That's 2 turnovers now for the Husky. So
Yeah, I think they might be playing a little bit too relaxed here in these past couple of minutes. I think that's not something like. Even though that yes, this game has been won, that's not something you really want to see. You really want to keep the discipline within there.
Yeah, now we're gonna see the full
And
court press come out for Winnipeg against Edmonton, and I mean it could work against a rookie. You know, try and take advantage of Lopez's inexperience, but I don't think they're gonna let that slide. And Volkov no good on his shot. And honestly, at this point, Edmonton just needs to hold the ball and not bother with shooting because they can just burn the last 60 seconds that they need.
oh yeah, for sure. I mean, like with even if this basket is made, there really isn't a lot of opportunities for the Voyagers to get this win.
A three with a
So
foul for 4 points. Okay, got partly there. 11-point gain though. So, like I said, they're not even doing the full court press now because they will have at least 2 more possessions potentially. But even
yeah,
then, that's only enough for 6.
yeah, they just but they also have to do well on defense as well because if the Excavators make a basket here, that's basically it. As ooh, I was about to say if Cooper makes that shot, that would have been pretty nasty. And of course, as I say that,
Yeah, I mean, 13-point game now. Like I said, they're gonna chuck up a three probably really quick just to see. But even then, nope, they're actually going down low on the post and it's blocked. And with that, obviously we're gonna see one more shot from Edmonton. But kind of wrap up like your thoughts for tonight's game as we see it come to its inevitable conclusion. Edmonton, we saw them build leads, but Winnipeg was able to claw them back twice. So Edmonton needs to work on maintaining a lead once they have it.
mm-hmm.
And Winnipeg, they just kind of fell off there at the wrong time. A scoring drought slipped in at the worst possible moment, and Edmonton just built an insurmountable lead there at the end.
Yeah, for sure. And really, it really comes down into um, when it comes to the Voyagers end, I would have to say being able to take advantage of some of those missed opportunities as well, because there were a lot of key misses on the Excavators side that could have really changed the momentum of this game to go over to the Voyagers' way.
Yeah, as you see, scoring-wise, Winnipeg definitely well spread across their team. It feels like everyone was at least contributing. Obviously, some struggles from shooting from some of them maybe hampered them in the end, but 5 players with double digits and one of them coming off the bench, 2 of them actually coming off the bench. I think Yona was coming off the bench. Uh, but yeah, you know, everyone seemed to be contributing in some way to their game, but just not enough at the right time. And whereas you look at Edmonton and 3 scores, that was the game plan tonight.
Yeah, like honestly, being able to rely on Cooper, Lopez, and Clark to really kind of do their damage, especially with Cooper, he had a heck of a game, 6 for 13, for three, and that's just really kind of the name of the game. Cooper really did a fantastic job taking over.
Well, I think most of his points actually came in that final quarter. I know he had 3 threes and I think 2 twos, so basically
Mm-hmm.
half his points came in that final quarter. So, you need a player like that sometimes that in the fourth quarter gets hot and they're going to be able to bring it because if you're down, you need someone like that to be able to come back. And looking at the quarter by quarter score, Edmonton came in really hot and then floundered a bit when Winnipeg made a adjustment. And then come second half, though, it just was all Edmonton.
Yeah, I mean, even with the low scoring third quarter for both of these teams, it really kind of showed how well both. It really kind of shows how the Excavators really did a good job trying to contain some kind of cushion, even if the cushion was running a bit thin. They pretty much did what they have to do to recollect themselves and try to take control of this game, which honestly, it's very difficult to do, especially on the road when you lose that momentum.
No doubt. I mean, like I said, the Winnipeg crowd helped their players stay in it here tonight. But as you saw, 16-point lead for Edmonton, and they had that twice. I feel like they had a 15-point lead early in the game and then a 16-point lead, and it really Winnipeg just never was able to establish themselves in the lead. They were always playing from behind, and they just could not stay caught up.
Yeah, for sure.
But and blocks also mattered a lot. Edmonton, double the blocks over Winnipeg. Uh, so they just weren't able to get comfortable down low in the post either on Winnipeg's side.
Yeah, and that's kind of been one of the big impacts here within this game because both teams really had their moments defensively, especially for between Clark and DQ. They both of those players have done really very well within the paint to try and make it much more difficult with between the two of them. But at the end of the day, one of the big things that really had came to separate the two has been the 3 points opportunities, as Ascavedas is able to go ahead and bring that down by living and dying by that three.
Yeah, and so both of them shot really well from beyond the arc. Honestly, I mean, 41% for Edmonton and 45% for Winnipeg. It's just they just did not convert as much as Edmonton did in the post.
Yeah, for sure.
But with that, Edmonton does secure itself a little bit better in terms of being in third place in the division. Uh, Obviously, everyone in this division is in contention for the division title. It's just gonna come down to uh, what the records are at the end of the year, and it's been very close throughout the year so far.
Yeah, for sure. And it's going to be exciting to see how well that division plays out because I do still think the plays are is one of the more difficult divisions to play
Well,
in within the FBA. So
you say that, but the desert division's basically also all tied up.
yeah, that's fair. That's also fair. But like, history with a lot of former champions being within this division as well.
Okay,
But it
fair. The fact that Dakota in what 2017, uh, Edmonton in 2022, and Montana last year. Okay,
yeah.
fine.
Yeah, but in any case, it has been a pleasant game here, um, over here, and I know I will see you guys over into the next game as we go over to Arizona, seeing the Demons go up against the Moonshiners. But until then, it has been a blast.
Yeah, thank you all for tuning in. We will see you next time. Have a good night.
See ya.